Hey, this is Dan Putnam with BEPIC. We're actually heading down to the manufacturer right now. And quite often people ask me about, how did you come up with Elevate, Accelerate, and, the EPIC pack, and what was it all about? And it's kind of an interesting story. It actually goes back to 2014 when I first came up with the name of BEPIC. And it was really just a concept that I had in my mind of putting a company together. And what that concept was is creating high performance products. So I was just kind of thinking, if you could take any nutrition products that you wanted to take, what are the things that most people are looking for? And so it kind of started from there, and started to think of, well, the first thing I would take is, what would be the best product I could possibly take to get my day started off? And so a lot of people understand, if you're going to get a good breakfast, you want good whole foods, fruits, vegetables, things like that. And so I thought, that'd be a good way to start your day. And then also just some things that a lot of people know about to help with just inflammation and a lot of the other problems that people have. So kind of one thing that came to my mind was some of the medicinal mushrooms that literally have thousands of years of, people have used them for their health. And so I kind of thought, okay, what if we came up with this product for people to take in the morning, and it was actual, multi-nutritional, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, put in some medicinal mushrooms, and just a great way for people to start their day. And then the thought came to me is like, I think a lot of people would like that. That alone would be a pretty cool product, but are people going to want to take that every single day? So I started to think of, well, what do most people start their day with? And, obviously coffee, energy drinks, and things like that. And so I thought, well, what if we could have this as the base, but then add to it a nootropic blend focused on energy, mental clarity, focus, and really just what you would need to perform at your best throughout the day. And literally is that thought that now is Elevate as we know it. And I just literally told our manufacturer, this is what I'm looking to do. I want to use extracts because I want to be able to do it all in one pill. I didn't think that people would want to take 2, 3, 4 pills in the morning, and then another 2, 3, 4 pills in the afternoon, and then more at night. So we wanted to use extracts, and it was also super important to us that we have just great assimilation. And so we added to that, the last part of it is the Max Bioavailability blend, which is actual mineral blend from the Great Salt Lake right here in Utah. So that's really was the original concept of Elevate. We launched with Elevate only in November of 2016. Stayed with a single product for the first year. November of 2017, we launched its companion product, which is Accelerate. And I had actually had the concept of, the best thing to start your day, best thing to end your day, but we wanted to start with a single product in order to get going. So the Accelerate concept really came out about the same time as Elevate, but really the thing there is I wanted to focus on two main components. One of them was gut health. I had been just hearing a lot of different research, hearing a lot of bit of information on how vital gut health is to us as human beings. They call your gut your second brain. They tie it to depression, they tie it to all kinds of things. Not to mention actual weight gain. They're starting to find out it's not literally just, what you eat and the amount of exercise you do. They're starting to find that people can actually be at a calorie deficit and not lose weight. In fact, people can be at a calorie deficit and actually gain weight. And so they started to do a lot of different studies and what would be factors on this, and a lot of it had to do with gut health, stress, anxiety, and sleep. And so really that's what we wanted to focus on, starting with the Restore pill, which is your purple pill. And that's really just a great gut health. But then we also have things like activated charcoal to help detoxify the body. And then we have the white pill, which is the sleep. And we wanted that to really just kind of be that mental calmness, help control cortisol levels, help control stress, help control anxiety, and then also have some ingredients to help you get a better sleep and have kind of the building blocks that you need inside the body in order to have more recovery while you sleep. And so that's really what became Accelerate. So that's what the concept was, and we're going to go meet with the manufacturer and the formulator, and we'll be talking about some more of the actual ingredients and what kind of separates our whole food, fruit and veggie blend, and Elevate, our nootropics that we use, the enzymes that we use in the Restore pill, the probiotics, and you know, some very unique things in the product itself. But that's really what the story is. I was looking to put together some products that just allow people to perform better, put them in a way that people already kind of have a habit. Again, a lot of people have a get your day started habit. A lot of people have a, you know, end your day habit. And just kind of that concept of allowing yourself to end your day with the Accelerate pills, just getting in the right mental you know, mindset of, okay, my day's over. I'm not looking to really accomplish a whole lot more. I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to detoxify. I want to get a great night's sleep and give my body really what it needs to recover, and then start the whole process over again with Elevate. And so that's BEPIC. Hey, this is Dan Putnam with BEPIC. We are here at the actual manufacturer with Chase, who I've worked with for a long time. He's the actual formulator that worked with me in putting these together. And what we wanted to talk about specifically is the EPIC pack, Elevate and Accelerate. We have a lot of people asking, you know, what makes these different than everything else? Can I really get all of this in one capsule? A lot of times with capsules, people are used to taking, you know, 2 or 3 capsules or more. So I thought there's nobody better to explain the ingredients and how these are put together than the formulator himself, Chase, here. So, Chase, the first thing I want to talk about is Elevate, which the whole concept of Elevate is everybody's waking up in the morning, hopefully, and getting ready for a big day. They want to do, you know, as much as they can in the day. So we thought, what's the best way nutritionally that somebody could possibly start their day? And that's kind of what we came up with, Elevate. We have several different blends. The first one I want you to explain is really the fruit and veggie blend.
Awesome. So the fruit and veggie blend is it's just a huge separation from normal multivitamins that people.
Right.
Everybody knows they need vitamins. Everybody knows that having a complete diet is kind of tricky to do nowadays. People are busy. People are doing a lot of things, and they're missing out on a crucial vitamins. So most people pop a multivitamin, think they've covered all their bases. What they don't understand is most synthetic vitamins pass straight through us.
Right.
You do run the risk of some toxic buildup of certain synthetic multivitamins, so they can even come back to haunt you instead of just pass straight through you without helping you. So the beautiful thing about the vitamins in Elevate is there's a blend of, so it starts as whole foods, fruits and vegetables. So, you know, your mother always tells you you should eat, you know, your 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. What we found out is if you eat 3 servings of fruits in a day, you might end up with a crazy amount of sugar. You wind up with just your insulin spiking every time you eat an apple, and your insulin spikes, and if you live off apples, eventually it's going to be problematic for you. So the great thing about the vitamins, they're actually micronutrients. They're vitamins derived from fruits and vegetables. So the way that happens is we take all these fruits and vegetables, blend them all up into a puree, and then start extracting out all of the macronutrients, pull out all the sugars, pull out the fiber, and you just keep cutting down on mass until what you're left with is this really nutrient-dense slurry. And then this nutrient-dense slurry is all these fruits and vegetables combined and then removed all of the big stuff, and you're left with all these tiny micronutrients. And then these are dried, and then we put them in this blend. And so these are all the crazy benefits of fruits and vegetables without all the sugar. And so you're able to get in one capsule the 4.5 servings of fruits and vegetables packed down into one capsule. And the beauty of these vitamins is our bodies have evolved to utilize them. These are what our bodies are craving, these vitamins, not the synthetic vitamins, but our body it's very, very efficient at using these vitamins. So when you're looking at the label and you're saying, oh, this is 50% of all of my daily needs in one capsule for all these vitamins, they're actually coming from whole foods. They're actually coming from fruits and vegetables. You just don't get all the sugar that comes with it. So that's, to me, an incredibly important difference between this product and any other multivitamin. You might just pop a couple pills and think you've covered your bases.
Right. And that's important to us. You want to start your day with those whole foods. The next thing is most people's days, if they're anything like mine and probably like yours, you're going to deal with some stress and some, just different things in the environment and the workplace and stuff. So we wanted to put in a blend of adaptogens to really just help the body deal with stress. So do you want to talk just a little bit about the adaptogens? We have the Ganoderma, Chaga, Cordyceps, Rhodiola rosea.
Yep, exactly.
And again, those are put in just to help the body deal with stress.
You hit the nail on the head with the adaptogenic herbs being incredibly crucial for reducing stress, reducing cortisol. A lot of the times we wake up and immediately you start thinking about your day. Think about everything that you have to do in the day, and you get stressed before you can get out of bed. Cortisol starts spiking, your adrenaline starts spiking, and then as soon as that wears off, you're exhausted, and your day hasn't even started yet. So these incredibly powerful herbs are phenomenally efficient at reducing cortisol. And one of the negative byproducts of having a bunch of cortisol is your body stores the food that it intakes. You eat food, and instead of burning it as energy, your body stores it as fat because it's sensing a very stressful environment. And it's in a stressful environment, it needs to store fat for just in case. So keeping the cortisol reduced with these powerful adaptogenic herbs helps your body resist the urge to store fat and burn it so you feel more energetic.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I heard that the cortisol created for just like bad traffic or different things like that is enough to get your body to start to store fat. Also for men, actually start to shut down testosterone.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of crazy things with cortisol. One thing that we hear all the time, because obviously we wanted not just a multivitamin, mineral product, and some awesome adaptogens, we wanted something that people could really feel. So we put the nootropics and the energy and mental clarity blend. And one of the things I hear all the time is, man, I don't really get the jitters. It doesn't wear off, and I feel tired and like I need a nap all the time. Can you explain just a little bit of what you did in putting that together so that you just kind of have a long, energy period with mental clarity, focus, and stuff like that, as opposed to a lot of times with stimulants, you have all this nervous energy, almost too much energy all at once, and then it goes away, and you actually feel worse than if you didn't take it to begin with.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this part. This part gets me really excited. So the natural ingredients that are in this really focus on mental clarity, like you said, focus, energy. So the nootropics in here, they increase your neurotransmitter activity. So the rate at which your neurons are firing in your brain. And it gets really exciting to just take an herb that's not a central nervous stimulant, like Bacopa.
Right.
And you take that and all of a sudden you just light your brain up. You tell your brain to start firing a bunch more neurons, and it just gets excited, and your brain is all of a sudden very alert without feeling overly energetic, without feeling overly stimulated. But then there are also a little bit slow start days, and so getting a little bit of what nature's given us in these nice stimulants, like guarana, yerba mate, yohimbe, these are great natural stimulants that all have different stimulant curves. So if you think of caffeine, so if you think of just drinking a cup of coffee, caffeine takes about 30 minutes before, so if this is an energy curve, so it takes about 30 minutes for the energy to start increasing. And then about 4 hours later, this starts coming down pretty good. It's a nice little peak. You take something like yohimbe, you start feeling that much quicker than 30 minutes. So that comes up quicker, and it has a different taper curve. And then you add in guarana, and it's slower and gentler, not as high as, just straight caffeine. And it comes up slower and tapers off much slower. Yerba mate is very similar to guarana. So you take these 4 different stimulant curves, and then you put them together, and what you wind up with is this really mellow, long-lasting energy curve that doesn't have a big come down, that doesn't have a big crash, it doesn't get you instantly jittery. It just makes you start feeling great pretty quick, and you still feel great for a long time after that without the come down, without the crash.
Awesome. And the last part, and I don't know if it's the most important, but it's very important, is the max bioavailability blend. Because bottom line, doesn't really matter what nutrients are in the capsule if they're not assimilated by the body.
Yep.
A lot of people realize the reason that it's so important that we have minerals is the body uses these minerals as building blocks in order to assimilate vitamins and nutrition and things like that. So if you're not getting them in the food, then you're not able to assimilate the other things in the food. Same thing with the nutritional product. If you're not able to assimilate it, it's really doing you no good. That's one of the things that we discussed is what can we do to give every single person that takes a BEPIC product the best chance of actually getting max absorption, and that's when you came up with the max bioavailability blend. If you just explain that quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when you're talking, you're getting all these benefits in one capsule, your body needs to get all of it out of that capsule. So first you start with the black pepper extract. This is going to help get through the intestinal wall, help it actually get into your blood, so that it doesn't just pass straight through you and you miss out on it. So black pepper extract, phenomenally good, well proven to help transport nutrients through the intestinal wall. Then we have the trace mineral extract, where it's a huge combination, over 72 trace minerals in this blend that help transport these nutrients into cells. So getting it out of your intestines into your blood and then getting it out of your blood into your cells is a very complicated and it can be a tricky process.
Right.
So we put in this max bioavailability blend to make sure that everybody gets every drop out of those pills.
Awesome. And basically what you described is exactly what we hear all the time about Elevate. Many of the things that we discuss now, hopefully people understand a little bit more how it's put together, why these ingredients work synergistically to make it just what I feel the best way for somebody to start their day. Now let's spend just a little bit of time on the companion product, Accelerate. And when we were discussing this, putting it together, there's a couple things that I had heard that I think is an emerging trend right now, and that's gut health.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have 2 capsules. We have the purple capsule, which we call Restore or Detox. And that's really designed for gut health. It's also designed to detoxify the body. Again, if your body starts to store these toxins instead of get rid of them, all kinds of things can happen. And then the white pill is asleep, and that's again really designed to help control stress, anxiety, also give you some of the building blocks that you need for the body to recover. So let's start quickly on the purple pill and talk just a little bit about gut health. Why is gut health important, and what ingredients do we have specifically in Accelerate to help with that?
Yeah, so one of the big shifts that happened in health and nutritional science lately has been the big shift to gut health. People realizing how incredibly important it is to have a balanced microbiome. So your gut is full of incredible amount of bacteria and biotics, just living organisms that help us digest all the food that we eat, help us balance. They do everything in our body.
Right.
They're just so phenomenally important. And a lot of times people just ignore our gut and just say, it's just the thing that rips my food apart.
Right.
But really we really need to be conscious of what we put into our digestive system. You are what you eat. But a lot of times we don't have the time. We don't have the means to really eat perfectly healthy all the time. So what we need to be doing is taking care of our gut through good detoxifying blends. So this has great detoxifying blends that help remove toxins, remove heavy metals, so that our organs can work well. Our body is great at taking care of itself as long as it's not all clogged up and screwed up. So the detoxifying blends are the humic acid. We'll get into humic acid later. It's amazing. I love humic acid. Great for so many things. Digestion, immune support is just phenomenal across the board. And milk thistle, great at detoxifying your liver. So you get each of these organs functioning better, and then the whole system works phenomenally better. And with the microbiome, with your gut, there's incredible studies that are talking about how just altering your gut, getting rid of candida, lowering yeast, and bringing up your good flora has a tremendous result in totally changing the way people feel during the day, reducing depression. So just starting with a good scrub down, cleaning everything out so our bodies can work well is an incredibly important start.
Right. And with that, we have a little bit of the prebiotics, the probiotics, the, 17 blend of digestive enzymes. What's important about the probiotics and what makes these unique?
Oh, yeah. So probiotics are great because the market's full of probiotics. People are starting to become cognizant of how important these are. And so you have a lot of companies coming online and saying, if some is good, more is better. And if somebody's selling this many units, I need to sell this many units.
Right.
And they're just coming up, it becomes a number game. And what nobody's paying attention to is probiotics are alive. Mm-hmm. They're very sensitive, alive microorganisms. And when you pass them through, number one, if you just keep them at room temperature for a while, they start to die. They have very specific living conditions that they thrive in. And room temperature on a shelf is not it. And so a lot of the times when people take probiotics, by the time they take it out of the bottle and put it in their mouth, it's already half dead.
Right.
And then they put it in their mouth, it goes through, it gets into their stomach where you have hydrochloric acid, your stomach acid, that's phenomenally efficient at murdering probiotics. And so the probiotics, you really want those in your intestines, right, below the stomach. And so most probiotics will not make it there. Like in the industry, there's over a 97% kill rate from it going in your mouth and making it to your intestines. So we looked for the most stable probiotics that we could find. And so what we found is, so what we ended up finding is these probiotic spores. So they're little seedlets that aren't exposed to the outside world. So what happens is as they pass through the hydrochloric acid, they're in the shell. And then when they start getting into the intestine, they start interacting with some of the enzymes that are on the intestinal wall. They stick to the intestinal wall, and then they bloom and they grow. And so these are clinically proven to have over a 99% survivability rate. So instead of a 3% survivability rate, it's over 99% survivability rate. And so it's planting these shelf stable, heat stable. You can cook these. You can take these up to over 300 degrees and they don't degrade.
Wow.
They're just so incredibly stable. So they're heat stable, shelf stable, acid stable. So that when you take it and you see on the label this has, this many units of probiotics, it's phenomenal. That's actually what's getting to your gut. That's actually what's getting to your intestines where it's going to do all the good. So yeah, these are the spore form probiotics, incredibly important and very different than what you see out on the shelf.
Right. And I think it's important because a lot of times people don't know exactly what to look for. Mm-hmm. So they're just looking for the amount.
Right.
And if mine has, a billion and yours has a trillion, the trillion's better. Mm-hmm. Or, 100 million or whatever the numbers are. But it really doesn't matter if they don't survive. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to make sure that people understand that this isn't just your normal probiotic. Enzymes, obviously digestion is extremely important, mm-hmm, to help the body break down the foods so that you get nutrition out of the foods. If it doesn't break it down, it's not going to get into the cell. Obviously, cells are tiny. So the enzymes also extremely important. But let's go ahead and go on to the sleep because I know so many people struggle with sleep, and it's not like we were discussing a little bit before. It's not because they haven't had a big day. It's not because they're not tired. I know people that are super tired, and myself sometimes, that I just can't sleep. And the reason I can't sleep, I can't shut off the brain. Yep. Whether it's relationship issues with kids or money or all of these different things, people are just wishing, man, I wish I had something to just kind of calm my nerves, get rid of this anxiety, this stress, so I can actually get some sleep. And so would you talk just a little bit about the sleep blend, how you designed it, and why it works so well?
Yeah, so exactly what you just talked about is the sole focus of the sleep blend. So it's all about calming down your nervous system, calming down your brain, reducing anxiety, reducing cortisol so that the brain can sleep. Magnesium is phenomenally effective at doing that. Ashwagandha, tremendously great at just reducing stress. Getting people to just, you can kind of slow the neurons firing. So what's really interesting is L-theanine is in both the Elevate blend, and then it's also in the Sleep blend. It's an amino acid, tremendously effective at helping your body recognize if it's in the sleep or wake cycle, if the body should be firing up and turning its engines up full blast, or if it should be slowing down. So the Sleep blend is just full of these. It's got lemon balm, it's got the magnesium ashwagandha, just all these herbs that are really good at calming the brain down, reducing cortisol, reducing stress. And as soon as you reduce all that noise down, people are out.
Right. Awesome. Well, there you have it. That's Elevate. That's Accelerate. That's our Epic pack. You heard it right from the formulator, right here at the manufacturer. And really, hopefully this explains to you just a little bit more why you feel so incredible on these 3 capsules. Mm-hmm. So again, Chase, I appreciate it. I'm sure that if all of our members were here, they would thank you also. I know that I had you look at the Facebook groups. You're seeing the amount of people that are impacted by these 3 capsules. And, we're just excited. And when a lot of people are just hungry for information on why are these so awesome. And so hopefully this gives people a little bit of that information. So again, as always, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.